Hey everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of the Bioterminal Classroom with IoT. So in this episode, I will teach you how to easily connect the Bioterminal to Microsoft Azure IoT Central with IoT Plug and Play. So if you stay until the end of this video, you will be able to build this demo to display the sensor information from the grove temperature and humidity sensor, soil moisture sensor, and the built-in light sensor on the Bioterminal. Also, all this sensor data will be sent to Microsoft Azure IoT Central and visualized on dashboards like this. So, to learn all about it, let's jump straight into the video. At first, let's look at Microsoft Azure. So, Microsoft Azure is Microsoft's public cloud computing platform where you can build, test, deploy, and manage applications and services through Microsoft managed data centers. Also, it provides a range of cloud services including compute, analytics, storage, and networking. It provides services such as software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and serverless. Finally, it supports many different programming languages, tools, and frameworks. What is Microsoft Azure IoT? So Microsoft Azure IoT is a collection of Microsoft managed cloud services that connect, monitor, and control billions of IoT assets. It includes security and operating systems for devices and equipment along with data and analytics that help businesses to build, deploy, and manage IoT applications. When talking about Microsoft Azure IoT, we consider how these services work together across three components. At first, the physical objects such as industrial equipment and sensors are connected to the cloud, and then the information collected by these devices is analyzed and turned into actionable knowledge either by people or AI. And finally, here it shows the way people respond to those insights and connect them to their businesses as well as the systems and tools they use. Now let's move on to talk about Microsoft Azure IoT Central. So Microsoft Azure IoT Central is a fully managed global IoT software as a service solution that makes it easy to connect, monitor, and manage your IoT assets at scale. It's highly secure and scales with your business as it grows and ensures that your investments are repeatable and integrates with your existing business apps. It bridges the gap between your business applications and IoT data. Finally, it offers centralized management to reconfigure and update your devices. Next, let's talk about IoT Plug and Play. So IoT Plug and Play enables solution builders to integrate smart devices with their solutions without any manual configuration. So at the core of IoT Plug and Play is a device model that a device uses to advertise its capabilities to an IoT Plug and Play enabled application. It contains properties, telemetry, and commands. So properties represents the read-only or writable state of a device or other entity. And telemetry is the data sent by a device. Commands describes a function or operation that can be done on a device. Finally, IoT Plug and Play certified devices eliminate the hassle of configuring devices in Azure IoT Central, such as creating templates and adding features and interfaces. Now, Microsoft Azure IoT Central is compatible with IoT Plug and Play certified devices. When you visit devicecatalog.azure.com, you will be presented with the Azure certified device catalog. So here if you click on the IoT Plug and Play, it will show all the IoT Plug and Play certified devices. So this badge represents that it is an IoT Plug and Play certified device. So if you check for Bioterminal, you can see that the Bioterminal is also an IoT Plug and Play certified device. To be IoT Plug and Play certified, you'll need to clear a few criteria, one of which is to publish a DTDL, which is known as a Digital Twins Definition Language model that defines the capabilities of the device, to the Azure IoT Plug and Play models repo on GitHub. So this is a repo for the Azure IoT Plug and Play models. And if you go inside here, you can see that the IoT Plug and Play model for the Bioterminal is listed here. When you open Microsoft Azure IoT Central and upload this Wire Terminal plug and play model, all these device capabilities will be added to IoT Central automatically. So if a solution builder doesn't have the hardware on his hand, he can refer to the device capabilities by loading this kind of plug and play model to build the solution for the device. Previously, the DTDL model was managed by a private implementation called Public Model Repository, but from October 14th of 2020, it was changed to Azure IoT plug and play models on GitHub. So if you look at this diagram, you can see once the device developer publishes the device model to the model repository on GitHub, and when the device tries to connect to IoT Central with the model ID, the Azure IoT Central will grab the device model and display on the Azure IoT dashboard. Now let's move on to connecting the Wire Terminal to Microsoft Azure IoT Central. So here Wire Terminal will act as a client and connect to Microsoft Azure IoT Central and visualize the accelerometer data from the Wire Terminal on dashboards. Also, Azure IoT Central will be used to beep the inbuilt buzzer on the Wire Terminal. So first we need to set up Azure IoT Central. Visit apps.azureiotcentral.com and click on Build, select Custom Apps, and here you need to log into your Microsoft account. So if you don't have a Microsoft account, you should create an account and then log in to that account. So I will log into my account here. So after logging in, you need to create a new application. So for the application name, I will name it as Wire Terminal. And here I will choose the free plan. So there are 4 different plans to choose from with different limitations. So for now, free plan will be okay for this demo. And click Create. So this is the dashboard for the Azure IoT Central. Next, let's set up the Wire Terminal so that the Wire Terminal can be used with the Azure IoT Central. First of all, make sure that Wi-Fi is set up on the Wire Terminal by visiting the first video of the Wire Terminal Classroom with IoT video series and also the Wi-Fi libraries and firmware update video. So I will give links to these videos in the video description down below so that you can also set up Wi-Fi on the Wire Terminal if you haven't set up already. Also make sure to update the firmware for the RTL8720 to the latest version using this video. Next, visit this repo on GitHub and click on Releases, go into Release version 0.6 and in here inside Assets, click on this .uf2 and it will start downloading. Now connect the Wire Terminal to the PC using a USB cable and turn it on. Next, enter bootloader mode by sliding the switch further away from on position, release, slide again and release. Once you enter bootloader mode, there will be a new drive named Arduino. So go into that drive and go into the location where we downloaded the .uf2 file before, copy it and paste it inside this Arduino drive. Now turn off the Wire Terminal. Next, while holding down on the top 3 buttons of the Wire Terminal, turn on the Wire Terminal to enter the configuration mode. Next, we need to access the Wire Terminal using a serial communication. So if you have a serial console client already installed on your computer, you can use that. And if you don't have any client, you can go ahead and download Putty, which is a serial client. So here I will choose the 64-bit Windows installer to install Putty. Now open Putty and go to Appearance, change the font size to 18 so that it will be more visible. Go to Session and select Serial, and here you want to enter the name of the serial port of the Wire Terminal. So let's go to Device Manager and under Ports you will see USB serial device, which is the Wire Terminal, and the port name COM4. So I will change this to COM4 and leave the baud rate to 9600 and click open. After that, press enter and type help, and it will show the help usage for the configuration window. So now we need to set the Wi-Fi SSID and the password. So let's set the Wi-Fi SSID. And now let's set the Wi-Fi password. Finally, let's set the connection information of Azure IoT Central. So type this command and go into Azure IoT Central, and in here go to administration, select device connection and copy the ID scope, paste here. Add a space, go back into IoT Central, click on SaaS IoT devices, and in here copy this primary key and paste it here. Add a space and give it a name. And finally press enter. So now we have successfully finished the configuration. Reset the wire terminal by sliding the switch further away from the on position and releasing it. After resetting, you will be able to see the following on the wire terminal LCD screen. As you can see, it first tries to connect to the Wi-Fi network, and then once it's connected, it connects to the Azure IoT Hub DPS. And finally, it sends the telemetry data to the Azure IoT Central. Now let's go back to Azure IoT Central and click on devices, and here you will see the Wire terminal appeared. So click on Wire test, and now we can visualize the data from the accelerometer. So if you click on this tab, raw data, and click on this arrow, you can see the data for every interval. So this is about every 2 seconds. So you can see the data from the accelerometer. Also, if you go into command, here in the code we have set the buzzer to ring, and we can set the duration of the buzzer ring. So if you set this to 2000, the inbuilt buzzer on the wire terminal will ring for 2 seconds. Here I want to mention that in the overview section, the data is not shown in real time, but rather shows an average during a given period of time. But if you go to the raw data section, you can see the data coming in to the IoT Central as the wire terminal is sending the data in real time. Now let's move on to a smart garden demo with wire terminal and Azure IoT Central. So here, a grove temperature and humidity sensor and a soil moisture sensor will be connected to the wire terminal, and the wire terminal will grab the temperature and humidity sensor information from this sensor, soil moisture information from this sensor, and light intensity information from the inbuilt light sensor on the wire terminal. So after grabbing the data, it will display on the wire terminal LCD screen and then send this data to Microsoft Azure IoT Central and visualize on the IoT Central dashboard. So in the 12th episode of the Wire Terminal Classroom with Arduino, I explained to you how to build this smart garden project using the wire terminal. So we will build the same project in this video and send this temperature, humidity, soil moisture and light sensor data into Azure IoT Central and visualize there. So if you go into this repo, you can see the codes that I used for this project. So we will take these codes as a reference to build the project in this video. Now we need Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So if you don't have that already, go ahead to this URL code.visualstudio.com and download on your computer. So here you can choose the installer based on your operating system. So in this case, I will choose Windows because I'm using a Windows operating system. So wait until the download is finished. Then open the installer and follow this wizard to complete the installation. Now open VS Code and go into here extensions and type platform IO. So we want to install platform IO IDE, and here I have already installed it. So if you have not installed platform IO IDE, you can install it here. Next, go into the repo that we used before for our previous demo and click on releases And from here we will choose the release version 0.6. That is because this version contains the basic codes to send the accelerometer data to IoT Central. We always keep on updating this repo, so you can go ahead and choose the latest release as well, where we have added more functionalities to the code. So go to 0.6 version and click on assets and click source code.zip. So now it's downloaded, and go into this location, extract this .zip, go back to VS Code and click on this Explorer and choose Open Folder, and navigate to the location where we just extracted the .zip file and click on the extracted folder and select folder. Inside this Explorer, go into include and then config.h, and in here change seedkk wire terminal to local. So this is the model ID. Next, go into this .json file, and in here do the same for the model ID, change this to local. So this is actually the plug and play model, which is the DTDL that we have discussed before. So here in the previous code for telemetry, the acceleration data is used, so we will change this according to our demo. So we want to have temperature, humidity, light intensity and soil moisture. So change these. Note that this is the data type, and I will change this to integer for all. So this is for temperature, humidity, light intensity and soil moisture. Now go into platform.io.ini. So this is the initialization for platform.io, and in here delete this accelerometer library because we will not be using it, and also this GFX library because we will use the TFT LCD library instead of this library. Finally, add this Grove temperature and humidity sensor library by copying this URL and pasting here. Next, go into SRC and open main.cpp. So this is the main code that will run. Now let's do some modifications to this code. So first of all, we don't need this library, the accelerometer library, and instead we will add 3 more libraries, which are the DHT library, the SPI library and the TFT LCD library. So here we have to include the SPI library because previously in the accelerometer library, this SPI.h library is already included. But in the DHT library, this SPI library is not included. So we have to include it separately inside this code. Now go down, and in here delete this because we are not using the accelerometer. Now go back to the repo I mentioned before, which contains the codes for the smart garden project that we built before. Let's open them side by side to do the modifications. So we have already included the LCD library and the DHT library here, and next we will copy all this from here to here, paste here. So this defines the pin where you connect the DHT11 sensor to the Wire terminal. So in this case it is 0, which is the D0 port of the Wire terminal, and you can also use the I2C port of the Wire terminal by defining the DHT pin as pin via SCL. So I have explained this before in the Wire terminal classroom with Arduino video series, and in here it defines the DHT sensor type. Next is the initializations for the DHT sensor, for the TFT LCD and the sprite buffer. Next, add variable definitions to store the temperature, humidity, light sensor and soil moisture data. After that, go down, and in here under display, delete this because we are not using this library, and delete this as well. And for here inside this function, it prints on the serial monitor and prints on the TFT LCD screen as well. So here we don't want this, so we will get rid of this. Next, go down and in here delete these 4 lines because that's for the accelerometer. Next, we will change the telemetry payload to 200. And this code is responsible for passing the JSON file with the telemetry information. Now I have expanded this window and let's change some parameters. So here we will replace this with temp. So that is the name we gave before here for the temperature telemetry. And this is the data type. So I will change to int 32 and this will be the variable temp. Repeat the same for humidity, light intensity and soil moisture. After that, go down and delete this. Also delete this. Go down and after this type. So this is to start the DHT sensor. Now we need to do the LCD setup. So for this we will grab the codes from here for the LCD. So copy from title header and paste it here. You can first watch this video to learn more about drawing graphics on the Gravit Designer and then transferring the coordinates of the shapes and text strings to the Arduino code so that it can be displayed on the bioterminal LCD screen. So once you watch this video, go and watch this video to draw this. So coming back to the code, since we are using this inside the setup, we are not creating any sprite buffer. So we will just replace SPR with TFT. So to do that, we will use the find and replace feature in VS Code. So go to edit and select replace. And here is SPR, replace with TFT. And click on this to replace all. So after we replace SPR with TFT, if we go up, we need to make some changes. Because here was SPR, so here was sprite SPR and this was also SPR sprite. So coming back down, let's clean this up by aligning it with this column. So VS Code supports multi-cursor feature, so just click on here to place the cursor and while pressing down on Alt on the keyboard, place another cursor and repeat it. Next, press tab on the keyboard and now everything is in align. So just fix this. So here, add codes to start the TFT LCD and set the TFT LCD rotation. So we will go through this TFT LCD code. So after starting the LCD and setting the rotation, so this is for setting the title header. So change this to tft.fill screen. So that will fill the background in white and fill rectangle will fill this with green color. Set text color to white and set the text size to 3 and draw this string smart garden on here. This is to draw this vertical line and this is to draw this horizontal line. After that, setting for temperature is for this. So here we will only keep the codes to draw the text string, but to display the temperature values we will display later on sprite buffers. So that will be included inside the loop. So here we are inside the setup. So moving on to humidity, do the same. Just keep the codes to display the text string and delete this. For soil moisture, we will use these codes inside the loop. So for now, let's comment them and later we will use this inside the loop. So to display the sensor values, we will delete this because we will later include it, and do the same for light. So we will comment this and delete this. Now let's go down to the loop. So inside the loop, first assign variables to store temperature and humidity sensor information. And next, assign variable to store light sensor values. So this is how the inbuilt light sensor pin is defined. Then go up in the code and here cut and paste here, uncomment it as well. So this will map the light sensor values ranging from 0 to 1023 to 0 to 100. So this range will be mapped to this range, so that this value can be illustrated as a percentage. Next, cut and paste this here and uncomment this. So here let's replace this by soil because we defined soil before, and the sensor pin here directly write A1 because the soil moisture sensor will be connected to the A1 pin, and here change to soil. So this will map the range from 1023 to 400 to 0 to 100 range. So I have explained to you before in the previous video where I built this smart gun project how to calibrate the soil moisture sensor to get the soil moisture sensing range. So you can go and check that video to learn more about the calibration. Next, we will create sprite buffers to display the temperature, humidity, soil moisture and light intensity values. So the reason we are using sprite buffers is when using Wi-Fi and LCD at the same time on the Wire terminal, it becomes a challenging process because it takes a lot of resources. So when using small sprite buffers, you can save up the RAM on the Wire terminal so that the Wi-Fi can be run smoothly. So let's start with temperature. First, create the buffer, and this will be the size of the buffer. So I will specify as 35, 25. So 35 horizontal, 25 vertical, so that's a small box, and I will fill it with white color. Next, I will set the text size and set the text color and push this to the LCD. Location will be 50, 95. So here what will happen is it will create a small sprite buffer of length 35 and height 25 at the location 50, 95. So it will be pretty much around here, a small box like this. Finally, clear this buffer. So here before pushing to the LCD, we need to add another line, and that is to display the temperature value on the LCD screen. So we type spr.drawNumber, and here we will include the variable that we have defined before, which stores the temperature information, and specify 0, 0 as the location. Now let's do the same for humidity. So copy this and paste it down below. So change the location of this and change this as well. Next, copy again for light sensor. So here we will change this to light and change the location of the sprite buffer. And finally, draw for soil moisture. Now we have completed writing all the necessary codes for this demo. So what we will do is we will click on this platform IO icon and then click build. So if you see this message, that means the code has successfully been compiled. Now we need to create a custom device template so that the data from the Wio terminal can be visualized on the Azure IoT Central dashboard. So go into Azure IoT Central and click on device templates, click new and IoT device, click next and then give it a name. So I will name it as Smart Garden, next and create. So here we have to import a custom model. So we will import the model that we have created before. So click on this and go into the folder that we used before on VS Code and open this file, which is the .json file. And then go to Weaves and click on Generate Default Weaves and click here. After that, go into Overweave and customize the dashboard according to your preference. So here I will leave it like this, and after you have customized the dashboard, click on Publish. So IoT Central is now ready to obtain the data from the Wio terminal and display on this dashboard. In Azure IoT Central, you can set rules to trigger actions when specific conditions are met. So I will show you how. So go to Rules and click on New and then set the device template to Smart Garden and set the time aggregation, we'll set it to 5 minutes. So the telemetry will be soil moisture and the aggregation let's set to average. So if it is less than 50, so 50%, then we will set to send an email saying to water the plants and the display name and click done. So here time aggregation is used because otherwise when the soil moisture level is less than 50%, this will keep on sending emails one after the other. So this will make sure that it will check for the average of the soil moisture values for 5 minutes and then only send the email if it is less than 50. So set the rule name and click save. Now connect the Grove temperature and humidity sensor to the Grove digital port on the Wio terminal and connect the soil moisture sensor to the 40-pin GPIO header like this. After that, come back into VS Code and click on Upload to upload this code to the Wio terminal. So after uploading the code to the Wio terminal, go into configuration mode again, open PuTTY and connect to the Wio terminal. And here the Wi-Fi SSID and the Wi-Fi password is already saved from the previous demo. What we will change is only the connection information of Azure IoT Central. So let's follow the steps that we followed before. Go into Administration Device Connection and then ID scope. Let's paste it here. And here, copy the primary key, paste that as well. And let's give it a new name. So let's name it as Smart Garden and press enter. And now it is all set. Now reset the Wio terminal. If we go back to Azure IoT Central and go to Devices, and under Smart Garden you will see the device that we created before. So go into this and you will see the temperature, humidity, light intensity and the soil moisture data displayed in an interactive way. So that's it for this video. If you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated with us. So see you all in the next video.